की गौर प्रेमानंदे। So we'll discuss something about the appearance of Balaramji. Okay. 5:25. Okay, so we'll discuss something about the appearance of Balaramji and some practical lessons we can learn from the pastime of the Lord's appearance and some activities. Before going to that, let's try to chant the auspicious invocation prayers. I'll chant, please try to repeat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya.
Narayanam Namaskritya.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam.
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam.
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam.
Tato Jayam Udhiraye.
Tato Jayam Udhiraye.
Ashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu.
Ashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Bhagavatyuttama Shloke.
Bhagavatyuttama Shloke.
Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki.
Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki.
Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svavadantikam Vandeham Sri Gurun Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyev Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangalangayate Grimitkapadamam Mande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Mishwaram Kathanchana Smrite Yasmin Dushkaram Sukaram Bhavet Vismrite Paritam Syat Sri Chaitanyam Namamitam Hare Krishna. So, we are all aware that when Kamsa, the brother of Devaki, when he married Devaki to Vasudeva, he was very happy. Kamsa was very happy because Vasudeva was considered as a very saintly person and a very great personality. Everybody knew that Vasudeva is a great personality. So when Kamsa was married to, when Devaki was married to Vasudeva, Kamsa was very happy. He said, "Oh, he is such a nice personality. He has married my sister. I should give him a lot of respect." So he put both Vasudeva and Devaki in the chariot, and he told the chariot driver, "You get down. I will take the chariot. I will ride the chariot. I will become the chariot driver." So he wanted to show much respect to Vasudeva. And then he was riding the chariot with great pomp and show. So much of big procession was going on. And when the chariot was going, then there was a voice from the sky. He said, "Oh fool, Kamsa, what you are doing? You are doing something foolish. The eighth son from your sister, he will kill you." The moment Kamsa heard this voice from the sky, immediately he lost all his composure. And in one moment, from great respect, it turned into great aversion. This is the nature of demoniac people. They are very unstable and they are very impulsive. They cannot think properly. So the same moment, immediately he withdrew his sword and he was holding Devaki's hair and he was trying to cut her neck. And he was telling, "Oh, if Devaki herself is not there, where is the question of Devaki's son coming? I will kill Devaki, so there is no question of Devaki's son. Then I will live forever because Devaki's eighth son is supposed to kill me. If Devaki is killed, then there is no death for me." This is demoniac calculation. Always trying to overcome death. by some mechanical means or some arrangement. But somehow Vasudeva is very, very intelligent. He knows that he has to stop Kamsa. So he gave various philosophical arguments to Kamsa about the nature of life and death, and he pacified Kamsa. And still he had to save his wife, so therefore he told Kamsa that, see, what is the fear about the children which my wife is going to have? They are going to be very, very small children. They don't have so much power. You are so powerful. You are so powerful that even demigods are afraid of you. And you have so many demoniac associates who are so powerful. So these small children, the moment they are born, they are so vulnerable. And as soon as they are born, I will bring them to you. Then you do whatever you want. So there is no more fear. Why you should fear? Why you should unnecessarily spoil your fame by killing your own sister, that too on the day of her marriage? You are such a great hero. Why would you kill a woman? And it will become a permanent blot in your greatness. So don't do this. For your own sake, you should not do this. And then somehow Kamsa was convinced. He thought, okay, Vasudeva, he will do whatever he does, but he will not break his word. Because everybody had that faith on Vasudeva. This person will not break his word. If he is going to give promise that he is going to bring all the children to me, this guy is going to do it. So I don't have to fear. So then he was again pacified. He let them go home, and then they went home. And the first child was born. And immediately Vasudeva, true to his promise, he brought the child to Kamsa, and Kamsa immediately killed that child. And like that, the second child was born, the third child was born, fourth child was born, and in between Narada Muni came, and then he went and told Kamsa that, Kamsa, you're so foolish, you have left your sister Devaki and Vasudeva scot-free in their palace. They may secretly have a child and they may not tell you. What will you do? Then Kamsa said, yeah, this is a character, it may happen. So then what to do? He asked Narada Muni. Narada Muni to put them in jail. Then he brought them and put them in jail. Narada Muni does things like this. Why he does it? Because he want to quickly bring the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So therefore, he didn't want to delay. So he made the arrangement for the Lord to come very quickly. And then the 6 children were born, and all the 6 children died. Hare Krishna. So then, the 7th child is a special child. He's not a normal child, a special child. He is special because he is also the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But there are 2 Supreme Personalities of Godhead. It may be surprising to hear that there is not only one, there are 2 Supreme Personalities of Godhead. There is one Supreme Personality of Godhead, and there is one Supreme Personality of Servitor Godhead. There are 2 Supreme Personality of Godhead. One is the master, the other is the servant. And this 7th child was the servant Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is not the master Supreme Personality of Godhead. But he is still the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then he entered Devaki's womb. And when he entered Devaki's womb, then Devaki was very happy. At the same time, she was very worried because she was thinking, oh, this child also will be killed by Kamsa. 6 children have been killed by Kamsa. Why this 7th child is going to survive? This child will also be killed by Kamsa. But Krishna had a different plan. So Krishna called Yogamaya. He told Yogamaya that my plenary portion, Balarama, he is there in my mother's womb. You please go there and then you exchange this child from Devaki's womb to Rohini's womb. You take the child out from Devaki's womb and you put the child into Rohini's womb. This way, nobody will know what happened to the child. Everybody will think the child is lost, but the child will be transferred to Rohini's womb. And who is Rohini? Rohini is another wife of Vasudeva. And she was staying with Nanda Maharaj because because of Kamsa's atrocities, many of the Yaduvamsha, they had spread themselves into so many different places. And they are living in different places. They didn't want to live with Kamsa. But few of them remained with Kamsa. Why? Because they were very eager to see all the pastimes of Supreme Personality of Godhead. And they wanted to also watch what Kamsa is doing. And at the right time, they could tell the Supreme Personality of Godhead what Kamsa is doing. So some of them, like Akrura, they actually remained with Kamsa, knowing fully well that this guy is doing so many atrocities. But time will come, and when the time comes, all his atrocities will come to an end. So therefore, some of them stayed with Kamsa, but rest of them, they were all living, hiding. So Rohini was hiding with Nanda Maharaj. So then Krishna gave this order to Yogamaya. He said that you please go there, you take the child from Devaki's womb and transfer the child to Rohini's womb. Now why? It's a very interesting question. Why? Because Rohini is the natural mother of Balarama. In the spiritual world, in Goloka, the natural mother of Balaram is Rohini. So therefore, Balaram is supposed to be born to Rohini. Now one may ask why Balaram was then conceived by Devaki. So there's a reason why Balaram was conceived by Devaki. In order to know that reason, we have to go back to the beginning of creation. In the beginning of creation, Brahma was creating so many different personalities. And Hare Krishna. So Brahma was creating so many different personalities, and at that time Brahma created one personality called Vak, one very beautiful lady called Vak. And when Brahma created this beautiful lady called Vak, Brahma himself got attracted to this lady. And then Brahma wanted to have union with this lady, but that particular body Brahma was having at that time, that body was not conducive for sex life. The creation by means of sex life had not started. So creation was going on by Brahma's contemplation. And creation was going on by Brahma's contemplation, and different personalities were appearing from the different parts of Brahma's body. So therefore, all of them appearing from Brahma, they were considered as children of Brahma. Like Marichi appeared, like the different great sages appeared, Kardama appeared. So all these different sages, they appeared from different parts of Kardama's body, and they were considered as children of Kardama. So therefore, this lady who appeared, she was also considered daughter of Brahma. So therefore, it was very inappropriate for Brahma to get attracted to his own daughter. When Brahma got attracted like this, then the great sages headed by Marichi, they actually went to Brahma, and then they told him that, why are you trying to do this? Nobody has done like this. No Brahma has done like this before. And you yourself have never done like this before. What is the reason for making such act? Is there something you are trying to teach us? What is that you are trying to show us by doing like this? Then when Brahma could not comprehend what these people are saying, then they prayed to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he appeared in Brahma's heart, and then he purified Brahma's heart, and then Brahma, he felt very regretful. So when Brahma did this, Brahma's sons like Marichi, they approached Brahma very respectfully. And they did not try to do anything to Brahma, because Brahma was a great personality. So sometimes discrepancy is seen in the activities of great personalities, but still they acted properly. They kept the etiquette. And they went to Brahma, they sought for his explanation, and when Brahma could not explain himself, they went to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then they let Supreme Personality of Godhead to correct all the whole situation. So they went properly. They went to a proper system. But the 6 sons of Marichi, they were not like that. Marichi had 6 sons. And they were not like that. They are simply laughing at Brahma. Hey, he's supposed to be Brahma. You see what he is doing? Stupid guy. They were laughing. So, because of that offense towards Brahma, they were cursed to be born in demoniac family. And then they became sons of a demon named Kalanemi. And Kalanemi was an associate of Hiranyakashipu. And then these sons of Kalanemi, after being born as sons of Kalanemi, then they tried to go against Hiranyakashipu. They thought Hiranyakashipu has done so much austerities and he has gained so much power. We will also do so much austerity, we will also gain so much power, we will challenge Hiranyakashipu. They are thinking like that. So therefore Hiranyakashipu became very angry. And then he cursed them again. They got a second curse. That they will again be born in the earthly planet and they will be killed by their own father. They will be born in the earthly planet and they will be killed by their own father. So this way, Hiranyakashipu, he actually cursed the 6 sons of Kalanemi. So in the next birth, Kalanemi became Kamsa. And these 6 sons of Marichi, they became the Shadgarbhas. And they were born for Devaki.
Oh, sorry, I'll borrow your card.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And they were born for Devaki, one by one. And who killed them? Kamsa killed them. And who is Kamsa? Kamsa is Kalanemi. So their own father actually killed all of them. And Marichi, he was the son who came from the mind of Brahma. Marichi was the son who came from mind of Brahma. And his sons were these 6 sons. And these 6 sons, they are actually the product of Marichi's mind. And they represent the 6 bad qualities. What are they? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada and Matsarya. Kama means lust. Krodha means anger. Moha means illusion. Then Mada means pride. Matsarya means envy. So like this, there are all these bad qualities. They represent all these bad qualities. The 6 sons represent all the 6 bad qualities. Of course, by getting cursed twice and by the touch of Devaki, because they resided in Devaki's womb, they all got purified. And later they came back to Devaki as Devaki's sons. Krishna and Balarama went and brought them back. That's a different story. But now these 6 sons were born as the Shadgarbhas of Devaki, and then they were all killed by Kamsa. So then Devaki's womb was now ready to receive the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But normally when a big man is going to come, what will happen? Before him, his associates will come first. They will make sure that the place is all right, everything is good, things are pakka, all these things. Suppose one big man is going to come, like let us say the president of America is going to come. Now in India, there is a G20 summit happening in India. All the world leaders are coming to Delhi. So now there's so many security arrangements in Delhi. They are actually checking all the places. They're cleaning up every place. They're making Delhi look beautiful so that they can receive all the delegates from all over the world. So when big personality comes, then before he comes, the place has to be prepared very nicely. So therefore, for Krishna to come and reside in Devaki's womb, first of all, Balaram went there. He cleaned up the womb and then he prepared it very nicely. But that was not his permanent place because his mother was Rohini. So once his job was done, then he has to go to his place. So therefore, Krishna ordered Yogamaya to move Balaram from Devaki's womb to Rohini's womb. So because he was attracted from Devaki's womb to Rohini's womb, then he was called as Sankarshana, the one who attracts. And this energy of Sankarshana, this attraction energy of Sankarshana, in the scientific terms, it is called as gravitation. In science, we study Newton's law of gravitation. Newton said that, Newton saw that one apple is falling down. And then he was thinking, oh, why this apple is falling down? And then he calculated, various calculation. And then he said there is gravity. And due to gravity, then what apple is falling down, it is not going up, it is coming down. But the most important point is, even before Newton saw it, apple was only falling down. This is the most important point. And before Newton calculated gravity, G is equal to 9.81, still the gravity existed. Still the gravity existed. It's not that after Newton calculated, then gravity came into force. It's not like that. Gravity always existed. Suppose you are doing a business. Okay? Suppose you are doing a business. And then you have an accountant. And what is the role of the accountant? He has to keep how much expense is there, how much income is there, and in the end, he has to calculate the profit, right? And then he has to tell you that, okay, sir, your business has made so many dollars profit, right? This is accountant's job. Just because accountant calculates the profit, does it become the accountant's profit? Sir, I calculated your profit, so profit belongs to me. You will agree to this? Anybody will agree to this proposition? No. But modern science does this. Modern science does this. Gravity is existing. It is Sankarshan's law of gravity. Newton only calculated how much it is. He calculated it and then he told it is 9.81. He is the accountant of Krishna. So then modern science is calling the law of gravity as Newton's law of gravity. Is not calling it as Sankarshan's law of gravity or God's law of gravity. Gravity though existed. Gravity existed, right? Newton did not bring gravity into force. Balarama brought gravity into force. So same way, all the relationships of this world, they are all created by Balarama, Sankarshana. He has created all these relationships of this world because he is the expansion of the existence potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, he has three major potencies, and then he has multiple potencies which are byproducts of the three major potencies. But he has three major potencies. Those potencies are called as Sandini, Samvit and Aladini. Sandini means existence potency. The potency by which the Lord himself exists is called Sandini potency. Samvit potency means cognizance potency, by which the Lord is aware that I am the Supreme Person. That's called cognizance potency. And then Aladini means that is a potency by which the Lord enjoys. That is Aladini potency, the enjoyment potency. So the Lord has three potencies, Sandini, Samvit and Aladini. And in that, the personification of the Sandini potency, the existence potency is Balarama. So whatever exists is simply because of Balarama. And when that Balarama expands as the second Sankarshana, that second Sankarshana becomes the source of Mahavishnu. And then from Mahavishnu comes Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, from Garbhodakshaya Vishnu comes Shirodakshaya Vishnu. And these three Vishnus cause the existence of the material world. So the source of the existence of the material world is Sankarshan. And the source of Sankarshan is Balarama. So everything that exists is simply because of Balarama. So every law of nature, everything we see in science, all the relationships which exist, they are simply because of the potency of Sankarshana. So therefore, there is no Newton's law of gravity, there is no Einstein's law of relativity, there is no Stokes constant, there is no Kirchhoff law, there is no Ohm's law, there is only one law. What is that? Sankarshan's law of existence. This is real science. This is real science. But in science, we attribute different names to different laws as if those laws are created by them. No, all these people are glorious. All these people are glorious because they calculated what exists. They did not bring it into existence. They simply calculated what exists. So therefore, Balaram, he causes the existence. He facilitates the existence. He causes the existence. So simply he facilitates the pastimes of the Lord by becoming the Dhama, by becoming the holy place, and by becoming his paraphernalia, like Krishna's shoes, Krishna's Brahmin thread, the Sheshanag, the snake bed of the Lord, on which all the different universes are held like mustard seeds. On the top of the Sheshanag, all the different the universes are held like mustard seeds. So many universes are there. Even modern science also agrees, so many universes are there. And where all these universes are floating, where are they held? Somebody is holding it. We are unable to see it, who is holding it. Just because we are unable to see it, it doesn't mean that it is not being held. Because we are walking on the earth, and the earth is not falling down, it's holding. How it is holding? It is holding on the hoods of the Sheshanag. So, Balaram is the basis of the existence potency. And then he facilitates all the different pastimes of the Lord. So therefore, he entered into Devaki's womb, and then he made sure that Devaki's womb is ready to receive the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then he went naturally to his own mother, who is Rohini. And then he appeared from the womb of Rohini as Rohini Sutta Balaram. And sometimes he is also called as Balabhadra, because the strength of Balaram is the cause of auspiciousness in this world. Bhadra means auspiciousness. The strength of Balaram is the cause of auspiciousness in this world. His strength is not only his physical strength. Balaram is very, very strong. Once Balaram was having some pastime with his own gopis, and then he was a little bit drunk. He drinks a drink called Varuni, which is made of different type of milk products and honey. A little intoxicating. So he was drunk with Varuni. And then he wanted to have some water sports with all these gopis. So he called Yamuna. Hey Yamuna, come here. I want to have water sports. And Yamuna did not come. And then what Balaram did, he simply took his plow, and then he started making Yamuna into very, very small streams. He started dividing Yamuna into very small streams. And Yamuna became very afraid. Then she appeared in front of him, and she prayed to him, and then she facilitated his pastime. He's so powerful that you could actually make Yamuna disappear into small streams. And another time, there was some dispute between the Kaurava family and the Yadus because of some marital relationship between Samba. Samba went and he had some relationship with the princess in the Kaurava family, and they all tried to capture Samba. And Balaram said, okay, Duryodhana is my disciple. I'll go and solve the problem. If I go and talk to Duryodhana, everything will be all right. And then he went there to speak to the Kauravas. But somehow these people, they are foolish. These Kaurava people, they are foolish. And they insulted Balaram. They said, oh, what is the qualification of your prince? That he has to come and, he should look at our own princess in our family. You people are all from very low family. You should not look at the girls from our family. Balaram said, oh, you think we are from low family? I'll show you what low family can do. He simply took his plow, and then he pulled the whole Hastinapura, and he was going to take it to Yamuna and he would drown it in Yamuna. He was so powerful that he could actually drag the whole city. He was physically so powerful. Of course, he is the reason for all the planets floating. So therefore you can see how much powerful he is. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Gama Vishyacha Bhutani Dharayami Ahamojasa. Gama Vishyacha Bhutani Dharayami Ahamojasa. That I have entered these planets and I am holding these planets by my own potency, by my ojas. And that potency is Balaram actually. So he is so powerful. So therefore he is called as Balabhadra. But that is not his real power. His real power is his ability to serve Krishna. That is his real power. His real power is that he is able to serve Krishna. And he is able to serve Krishna in various ways. There are 5 types of relationship in which one can serve Krishna. And there are different people who serve Krishna in these different relationships. Like some of them serve Krishna in Santarasa, some of them serve Krishna in Dasarasa, some of them serve Krishna in Sakyarasa, some of them in Vatsalyarasa, some of them in Madhurarasa. There are different people who serve Krishna in different ways. Like for example, the cows, the plants, the trees in Goloka, they all serve Krishna in Santarasa. And then there are these boys like Chitraka, Patraka, Raktaka. These are boys who actually serve, cowherd boys who serve Krishna in Dasarasa. Then there are cowherd boys like Sridama, Sudama and all those boys, Madhubangal, the Brahman boy, they all serve Krishna in Sakyarasa. And then the elderly gopis and gopas, they actually serve Krishna in Vatsalyarasa. And then the young cowherd girls, they serve Krishna in Madhurarasa. So each of them serve Krishna in their own rasa. But there is one personality who serves Krishna in all these rasas. And that personality is Balarama. That personality is Balarama. He serves Krishna in all rasas. As Krishna's Brahmin thread, as Krishna's chapel, as Krishna's various paraphernalia, ornaments, etc., he serves Krishna in Santarasa. And then as Sheshanag, as Lakshman, he serves Krishna in Dasarasa. And as Balaram himself, he serves Krishna in Sakyarasa. Sometimes he is like, playing with Krishna, and he and Krishna, sometimes they play so many tricks and games, and they're like playing like friends. And sometimes he becomes the big brother. Oh Krishna, you should not do this. Oh Krishna, you should not do that. Oh Krishna, now you should go and play. Krishna, now you do this, now you do that. So he gives order to Krishna. So that is Vatsalyarasa. And then, as Radharani's younger sister Rangamanjari, he also serves Krishna in Madhurarasa. So therefore, Balaram is called as the supreme servitor personality of Godhead. There are 2 Bhagavan. There is Sevya Bhagavan and there is Sevak Bhagavan. Krishna is Sevya Bhagavan and Balaram is Sevak Bhagavan. And that Balaram expands as the spiritual master. So therefore, all the Acharyas, our Acharya Parampara, all the Acharyas and our spiritual master, the entire Guru Tattva is actually the expansion of Balaram. And especially in Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara, Balaram expands as Guru Tattva through the incarnation of Lord Nityananda. Krishna appears as Lord Chaitanya and Balaram appears as Nityananda. And Lord Nityananda, now Krishna is very merciful, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is more merciful than Krishna. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made Krishna accessible through the holy name. Krishna says, Sarvadharman Parityaja, Mamekam Saranam Vraja. Now how to surrender? Nobody knows. Then Krishna appears as Mahaprabhu, and then he gives us the process of surrender through the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Through the process of chanting the holy name, then he showed that this is how you surrender. Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranamo Dukkha Samanastam Namami Harim Param. That Lord Krishna's name, the chanting of Krishna's name is the highest dharma. And by taking up that dharma, one can actually go back to Godhead. That is the highest dharma. So that's the way to surrender to Krishna that was shown by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But In order to approach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one requires the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. Without getting the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, one cannot approach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is very nicely shown in the Panihati pastime. When Raghunath Das Goswami, he was trying to approach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directly, he could not. But when he got the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, then immediately he could approach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is considered more merciful and Nityananda Prabhu is considered most merciful. And that most merciful Nityananda Prabhu, he becomes the Guru Tattva. He expands as the Guru Tattva. So therefore, all the spiritual masters who are actually preaching Krishna consciousness, they are considered as expansions of Nityananda Prabhu. So Balarama, he becomes Nityananda, and all the spiritual masters become expansion of Nityananda Prabhu. And all of them embody the principle of service. And that is the greatest lesson we have to learn from Balarama, appearance of Balarama. That the very existence of the jiva is simply to do service. To serve. That is the constitutional position of the jiva. And what is stopping the jiva from serving? The 6 contaminations, which is kama, krodha, lobha, moha, madha, matsarya. These are the 6 contaminations which are actually stopping the jiva from engaging in pure service. And these contaminations, when they exist in the heart of the jiva, then the jiva forgets his constitutional position of service, and then he starts acting falsely as master, thinking that everybody should serve me. Therefore, the entrance of Balaram into Devaki's womb is preceded by the removal of the 6 contaminations. And that is the role of the spiritual master. The spiritual master removes the 6 contaminations from the consciousness of the conditioned soul, by which the servant is trying to act as the master. So therefore, the appearance of Lord Balaram is the most auspicious appearance, because that appearance signifies the purification of the conditioned soul. So then, immediately after appearance of Balaram, there is appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, because now the conditioned soul has understood that I am the servant of Krishna, I should serve Krishna. So when that mood of service becomes predominant, then that is the time when Krishna has to appear. Then the whole atmosphere becomes conducive for Krishna's appearance. So then the Lord appears. So therefore, service is the basis of human existence. And when that service is directed by the purity of the spiritual master, and when that service is directed towards qualified Vaishnavas, when that service is directed under the direction of great souls, and when that service is directed towards Dham, towards devotees, then that service becomes most meaningful. The service becomes most meaningful. And it becomes most potent. That service becomes most potent and becomes most meaningful. And that service becomes the medium by which one can please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So therefore, it is considered, that's why Prabhupada said devotional service. Prabhupada did not say simply devotion. Prabhupada said devotional service. Devotion means you should do something practical to serve the Vaishnavas, to please the Supreme Lord Hari, to please the spiritual master Guru, and to please the devotees, Vaishnavas. The pleasure, acting for the pleasure of Hari Guru Vaishnavas constitutes proper service. And how to do that service? and how to engage ourselves in service, that is shown by Balarama. So therefore, the most auspicious appearance of Balarama is considered the greatest good fortune of the conditioned soul, because by appearance of Balaram, we learn the technique of how to serve the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, any question, comments?
I have one question.
Yes.
What is the difference between Radharani and Balaram to Krishna?
Okay, what is the difference between Radharani and Balaram? It's a very nice question. Actually, in one sense, there is no difference between Krishna, Balaram and Radharani, because they are simply Sandini, Samvit and Haladini. Okay? But in the spiritual world, they also can become different personalities. They also can become different personalities. So therefore, they have their speciality. They have their speciality. And the speciality of Balaram is facilitating Krishna's enjoyment. That is speciality of Balaram. Okay? And the speciality of Radharani is that she is object of Krishna's enjoyment. You understand there's a difference between these two? There is one person facilitating Krishna's enjoyment, and the other person is the object of Krishna's enjoyment. Right? So that is the difference between both of them. So both of them are meant for Krishna's enjoyment. One is facilitating it, the other person is the object of Krishna's enjoyment. But they are all Krishna only. In one sense, they are all Krishna only. Sometimes we think that Radharani is a girl and Krishna is a boy, because we are also getting Radhashtami next, which is going to come. Radharani is not a girl and Krishna is not a boy. Okay? We should not think like that. Radharani is a girl and Krishna is a boy. That's why Prabhupada says that one should properly read Bhagavatam from the beginning before trying to understand who is Radharani and who is Krishna. That Radharani is not girl, as we know a girl. Krishna is not a boy, as we know a boy. The dealings between Krishna and Radharani are not the dealings between a boy and girl, as we know the dealings between boy and girl. They are the dealings between Purusha and Prakriti. So Purusha and Prakriti are one and the same. Like the potent and the potency are one and the same. The potency is possessed by the potent, and the potent acts through the potency. So the potent and the potency are one and the same. So therefore, the activities of the potent and the potency, if it has to be properly understood, then one should understand the very nature of absolute truth. And how to understand the nature of absolute truth? The nature of absolute truth can be understood by coming to the platform of mode of goodness. And how to come to the platform of mode of goodness? You can come to the platform of mode of goodness by accepting a spiritual master and by serving the spiritual master. By serving the instruction of the spiritual master, we can raise ourselves to platform mode of goodness. Satyam param dhimahi. Bhagavatam says the first sloka. Satyam param dhimahi. Dhimahi means Gayatri. And who can chant Gayatri? Brahmanas can chant Gayatri. Brahmana means mode of goodness. And how to come to mode of goodness? That one should accept the spiritual master. Who is spiritual master? Spiritual master is expansion of Balaram. So, by understanding or by coming forward and by offering ourselves to facilitate Krishna's pastimes or Krishna's activities through the medium of the spiritual master, then we can understand the nature of relationship between Krishna and his potencies. Okay? Yes.
So, I have two questions in
Okay.
mind. One, you talked about Sankarshan.
Yeah.
Is the Sankarshan same as what we read Akarshan? The second thing you said, I'm just trying to visualize, you said the earth is moving and there's Sheshnag holding it. I'm just trying to see, is there any relationship between Sheshnag and the Sankarshan? Just can you put all everything together?
Okay, Sankarshan causes Akarshan. That is the nature of Sankarshan. That he causes relationships between in the existence. In the existence, you see relationships. And relationships causes attraction and aversion. Yeah? Aversion is another type of attraction. Okay? So everything is caused by Sankarshan. So Sankarshan causes Akarshan. So that is the first answer. Okay? The second answer is that Sankarshan expands as Sheshanag. For his service to Vishnu, he expands as Sheshanag. So as Sheshanag, he becomes the bed of Vishnu, and he also becomes the person who holds the entire creation. The whole creation is simply held by him. So if we manage to travel through the dimensions of creation, creation is multi-dimensional. It is not three dimensions. Even modern science agrees this. There is a book called History of Time and Space. It is written by a scientist called Stephen Hawking. He died. He is number one atheist. Throughout his life, he had only one mission: how to prove that there is no God. That was his mission of his life. And why I am bringing him? Because in his book of History of Time and Space, he actually talks about the existence of multiple dimensions. And he says that multiple dimensions exist in space, and we are unable to go through those dimensions. He himself agrees. That's why I'm bringing that point. And what point he is bringing, that same point is there in Bhagavatam. That there are dimensions which are inaccessible to human form of life. Even within the earthly system, we are able to see only a certain aspect of the earthly system. We don't see the entire Bhumandala. We only see the Bhumi. Bhumi is part of Bhumandala. And Bhumandala has many other systems like what we see. And those planetary systems are actually heavenly systems within the Bhumandala. Then there is heavenly systems above the Bhumandala. And there are lower life form systems below the Bhumandala. And all of them are in different dimensions. So we don't have the ability to enter through those dimensions. But those who have the ability to enter through those dimensions, like the four Kumaras, they have the ability to enter through those dimensions. And Ganga flows through those dimensions. Ganga has the ability to flow through dimensions. She is flowing all the way from Brahmaloka, all the way up to Sheshanag. So the Kumaras, they are actually in Brahmaloka. And they have a navigation system, like we are trying to make Ganga navigation system in India. They have a navigation system by which they can actually enter into Ganga in Brahmaloka and get out of Ganga at Sheshanag. And then they go there, they sit in front of Sheshanag, and Sheshanag speaks Bhagavatam class to them. With all his millions of hoods and millions of tongues, he speaks Bhagavatam. And they sit and listen to him. And that is one parampara of learning Bhagavatam. Now there is one parampara of learning Bhagavatam which comes from Vishnu, Vishnu to Brahma, Brahma to Narada, Narada to Vyasa, and Vyasa to all these people. There is one parampara. It is called Brahma parampara. But there is also one more parampara where the original speaker of Bhagavatam is not Vishnu. The original speaker of Bhagavatam is Sankarshan, Sheshanag. And the first set of people who are hearing it is the Kumaras. And from there is one parampara is there. So if you actually go through the dimensions and see what is actually holding the whole creation, you will find that the entire creation is held on the hoods of the Sheshanag. Because he is the existence potency. He makes existence happen. So therefore he expands as Sheshanag, which actually facilitates the existence of the whole material creation. That's a put in perspective. Of course, very difficult to visualize these things in three dimensions. It's extremely difficult. Okay, any other question, comment? Yes, Vijay.
So, Prabhu, when Bhima and Duryodhana were fighting, Gadar Yuddha,
Okay.
Krishna was there, and then behind the tree, he told Bhima that, oh Bhima, below the waist, something, some signs he said, and Bhima did that. Two questions there. Lord Balarama was present there, or he was on the pilgrimage already? Because he was not to like that, and therefore Krishna, gave in the sign language.
No, he came back at that time. He came at the last moment when the war was practically over. only Duryodhana was left, and Duryodhana, he used his mystic power and he entered into a pool. And Duryodhana had a mystic power by which he can actually enter into water and then make the water still. So he entered into the pool and he was sitting inside the water, and then he made the water still so that nobody could actually know that he is inside. But Yudhishthira actually knows, and he found from some spies that he is actually there. So the 5 Pandavas, they actually went there and then they challenged Duryodhana. And when they challenged Duryodhana, then Duryodhana came out. And then Yudhishthira said, you could choose any of us and you can fight it, any of us. Because that is dharma, that he should give them opportunity to fight with any of them. And then because Yudhishthira was so chivalrous in offering to actually say that you could choose any, then Duryodhana also, he became very chivalrous. He said, okay, even though I could easily choose somebody who is very weak compared to him, like, like Nakula or Sakadev, or even Arjuna, he said, no, I will choose Bhima because he is equal to me. So we both will fight. So when Bhima and Duryodhana were going to fight, that time already Balaram, he had gone on pilgrimage for 2 reasons. One reason was that he wanted to kill Romaharshana Sutta. Because Romaharshana Sutta was acting like a spiritual master, but he was not respecting the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So anyone who acts like spiritual master but does not respect Supreme Personality of Godhead is actually a bogus guru. So this Romaharshana Sutta, he was a bogus person. When Balaram came into the assembly of devotees, everybody stood up and Romaharshana Sutta was sitting like this because he was thinking that I am sitting in Vyasasana, I did not get up. That is a rule which is applicable for normal people. It is not a rule which is applicable when the Supreme Personality of Godhead comes. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead comes, even if you are sitting in Vyasasana, you are meant to get up. But he did not do that. So therefore, Balaram killed him with darbha grass. And then all the Brahmanas, they wanted to kill one more personality. There was one more demon, Balvala. He had to be killed. So the Brahmanas made some excuse and then said, oh, you killed a Brahmana, so you have to atone and you have to do this. So then Balaram said, oh, you think I have killed a Brahmana? I can bring him back to life. He is Supreme Personality of Godhead. No? He said, okay, so what is the problem? I'll just bring him back to life. I'll just put him there back. He'll become speaker again. I can do that. They said, no, don't do that. Anyway, you killed him, so we don't want to change that. So then he said, okay, now what do you want me to do? Just kill Balvala. So he said, oh, okay. And he also wanted to set proper precedent that, if you kill a Brahmana, then you should go through the atonement. So he took that opportunity and then he killed Balvala. So when he killed Balvala and when he killed Romaharshana Sutta, then his mission was over. His mission of killing the demons is completed. So then he came back. And when he came back, these 2 personalities were preparing to fight. And then, because he was guru of both of them, he taught the art of fighting with mace to both of them. Then he was appointed as the person to adjudge that who is the winner. Because everybody knew that when Duryodhana and Bhima will fight, it will be extremely difficult to find a winner. And it will be extremely difficult for any one of them to win also. One had the grace and technique, the other had the power. Duryodhana had the grace and technique, Bhima had the power. So they both were matching with each other. So one of them is, to get one of them defeated is impossible. But then Duryodhana, he had some added advantage because his mother had actually seen him and his body became as good as steel. So that was an unfair match because he was unfairly matched with Bhima. So that was unfair. And Krishna was aware of that. So therefore, something which is unfair had to be dealt accordingly, ultimately. So therefore, then Krishna made some signs to Bhima that do like this, do like that. And then of course, Balaram was very upset. And he did not like what happened. Then Krishna came and told him that don't come in the end and make judgments. If you want to make judgment, you should be there from the beginning. Don't come in the end and make judgments. Then Balaram accepted. He said, okay, this is what you want, is fine. So that is the nature of the spiritual master. The spiritual master selflessly is able to accept Krishna's judgment, irrespective of his own desire or his own preferences. He is able to selflessly accept Krishna's judgment. So that is the lesson from the pastime. That how to accept Krishna's judgment as final. And as the spiritual master, because Balarama is the Adi Guru, he is the spiritual master, he actually showed that. That yes, I think that this is not correct. But because Krishna says, then it should be correct. Because that is the definition of dharma. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. So because Krishna says, then it should be correct. And that has to be accepted. And that is the nature of the spiritual master. So Balarama, he exhibited that pastime to show how to accept Krishna as correct at all times. So therefore, then everything was auspicious.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, any other question, comment?
I just have a question. When you just started, this matches.
Yeah.
So the question was, you were talking about when Vasudev and Devaki
Yeah.
get married, and they were sitting in the chariot, and
Yes.
then there was an announcement.
Correct, yeah.
So this question is coming from the place like where I have negligible knowledge. So the question is why they have made that announcement, and that led to the killing of like almost so many, kids.
Yeah, so the kids were killed. See what happens in the creation. Okay, in the creation, when you actually see an event as a standalone event, it is very difficult to make a judgment about the event itself. Okay, but when you see that whole event in a bigger picture, then everything fits in place. Then you see the perfect justice of God. But when you see only a segment of a certain event, then you get confused. It looks like, it's like something unfair is happening. Okay? So that Asiriri came, there was a reason for that Asiriri to come. The reason for that Asiriri to come was to expedite the appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because already the earth was burdened with so many demoniac kings. And earth had gone to Brahma, and she had complained to Brahma that please, let's do something about it. Because this earth is so much burdened by demoniac kings, and things are not happening properly. Dharma is just going like haywire. So let's do something. Then Brahma took Mother Earth, and they went to Vishnu, and then they both complained to Vishnu that please do something about this. Vishnu said, don't worry, I am appearing. So now, then all the events which happened were only expediting the appearance of Vishnu, because Vishnu had to come very quickly. Suppose there was no Asiriri, or Asariri means that one which does not have body, but only the voice comes, you don't see the body. So you hear the voice, but you don't see the person. That's why it's called as Ashariri. Ashariri. That's why Ashariri. So once that voice came, then the true nature of Kamsa came out as a demoniac person. That nature was always there with him. But that nature came out as a demoniac person. And it's not that Kamsa doesn't know what is right and what is wrong. When Krishna was born, this is Janmashtami pastime. When Krishna was born, Krishna was exchanged with Yogamaya. So Yogamaya came to Devaki, and Krishna went to Nanda Maharaj. Yeah. So then Kamsa thought, anyway, this is a girl, so let's leave the girl. Then Kamsa's ministers told him, who knows, this girl will kill you. Maybe the Asiridi made something wrong. Asiridi was not fully aware whether it's boy or girl. Asiridi was not aware. Asiridi made a mistake. Better you kill this girl. So he tried to kill that girl. When he picked up the girl simply flew from his hand. And then she became Durga. She was sitting on the lion. She was having so many hands, so many weapons. And then she told Kamsa that, you fool, that boy who is supposed to kill you is already born. He's going to come and kill you. Wait for your time. Right? And when she said that, then Kamsa became very remorseful. And Kamsa spoke very nice philosophy to Devaki and Vasudev. He told Devaki and Vasudev, so what to do? See, I did so many things to you. I did so much thing wrong to you. You know, I killed all your children, but it's all karma. No, who knows what happens? So please forgive me. Please go home, live peacefully. Don't be inimical with me. So many things he said to them. He actually spoke very nice Shastric truths. So it's not that Kamsa was deficient in knowledge. But because he was demoniac, he always used his knowledge for sense gratification. Even now he was speaking to Devaki and Kamsa because he knows the child has escaped. So he wanted to make friendship with them. When the child comes, you know, they can actually tell, no, Kamsa has changed his mind, he has become a nice guy, don't kill him. Yeah. So always he's calculating that, you know, how to save the body. Right? So that very nature of Kamsa existed with him. So in order to bring out that nature and then expedite his destruction, then all these things happen. That's one thing. The second thing was the 6 children were supposed to be killed because they had to be released from their curse very quickly. They are actually the children of Marichi. Remember that? You were there at the beginning of the class. I told them that they actually said that they are actually 6 sons of a sage. His name is Marichi. So they actually laughed at Brahma because Brahma did some mistake. So they laughed at Brahma. So they got cursed twice to become demon, to come to earthly planet and take demoniac birth. So they had to be released from that curse. So therefore, as soon as they were born, they were killed. So actually, for us, it looks actually they are killed, but they are actually getting released from their curse. So that was also good. It was not like bad. So sometimes when we look at these happenings from a very limited perspective, then it looks. That's why I said that, you know, sometimes we see, oh, Krishna kills, you know, how God can kill. God is supposed to be very good. Why God is killing? But God is absolute. God killing and God saving is same. Because when God kills demons, what happens to them? They all get liberated. So therefore, even though it looks as if God is killing or God is doing something bad, God cannot do anything bad. Good and bad comes from Him. But he is beyond good and bad. So that's the most important. Okay? Yes, Prabhuji.
So Prabhu, you said Brahma and Mother Earth, they went to Vishnu and then Vishnu said, I'll appear.
Yeah.
So, but Krishna was the original personality, right?
Yeah,
Original.
correct, yeah.
So it's not one of Shirodakshai or
Correct, yeah.
Garbhodakshai, not and the
Yeah.
other one, right? Not those 3, right?
Correct,
Because,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but then they all the same personality. You have to understand this. It's not like, you know, they are like different personalities. But for the sake of creation, they are all exhibiting lesser and lesser potencies. Like, you know, like a particular, like Krishna is like a Vaiduria gem, like a diamond. Huh? So a diamond, when you see in different directions, it shines in different colors. Okay, according to the person who views the diamond in a particular direction, he actually sees a particular color, right? But that color is not the only color which can be attributed to the diamond, because some other person sees the diamond and he sees it shining in some other color. Okay, so all those colors constitute the same diamond. It's not a different diamond. Like someone is telling diamond is shining in red color, but someone is telling no, diamond is shining in green color. Someone is saying, no, there's a blue color light which is coming from diamond. Now, one fellow is seeing red, one fellow is seeing green, one fellow is seeing blue, but all of them are seeing the same diamond. So, same way, all these different expansions of Vishnu or Krishna as Vishnu Tattva, they are all the same. Deepachireva dishantam tapyupetya, Deepayate vivrtahetu samana dharma, Yastadeva hicha Vishnataya vibhati, Govindam adipurusham tamaham bhajami. When you light one lamp with many lamps, you can light with one lamp. The nature of flame in all the lamps is same, but still there is one original lamp. So that original lamp is Krishna. So rest of all the lamps is Vishnu. They are all same. So therefore, they can interchangeably talk about themselves. Like Vishnu can say that I will come and then Krishna will come. Or when Krishna comes, all Vishnus come and join with him. All these things happen because we as one personality can be in only one place. But Krishna is God. he is one personality, he can be in many places as many person who is the same person. That's what is little confusing. How many person can be the same person? Many person has to be many persons. Or there has to be one person who is the same person. But God can be simultaneously many person who is the same person. So that's why he is God. Okay? And that's why we cannot imagine that how he is. So he is like that. So then when those personalities speak, they all speak as if they are God. Because they are God. But there is also still Krishna who is original God.
Can I ask you a last question?
Yes, please.
This is my second question, if I'm allowed.
No.
So we are sitting here in this church.
Yes.
What's your take on Jesus Christ as one of the forms of the gods?
Yeah, actually, I don't have any take on Jesus Christ because I am a very small person. But the Prabhupada told that Jesus Christ is Krishna's son. He said that Muhammad the Prophet is Krishna's servant and Jesus Christ is Krishna's son. And both of them taught love of Godhead. But both of them taught love of Godhead in limited manner because their audience were limited in their understanding. So therefore, they gave love of Godhead. Like there is a very famous sermon Jesus Christ gave from a particular mountain. It's a very famous sermon in Christianity. And in that sermon, Jesus Christ simply talks about love of Godhead. But he said that God is the Father. But he did not define the Father. But he told that God is Father. And he said, I am his son. He is the Father. Okay. Now, Krishna says, Pitaham asya jagato mata dhata pitamaha. I am the father of the whole creation. I am the mother of the entire creation. Now, Jesus Christ is saying that God is the Father, and Krishna is saying, I am the Father. Right? So, Prabhupada is acknowledging that. He is saying that, yes, so this person is saying that God is Father, and Krishna is saying that he is the Father. So, this person is actually Krishna's son. But he actually gave them a philosophy which is very basic in nature, more or less like our Karmakanda philosophy. Like in Vedic system, we have Karmakanda philosophy, it's very, very basic in nature. It simply tells you how to enjoy within this material world. It doesn't tell you anything more than that. And it tells you, if you actually read Karmakanda philosophy, it more or less tells you enjoying the material world is the topmost purpose of human life. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that ya imam pushpitam vacham pravadanti avipaschitaha vedavad ratapartha nanyat asti iti vadinaha. He says that the Vedas, they speak a very flowery language, and people who have small intelligence, they just get attracted to the flowery language of Vedas, and then with great conviction they argue that there is nothing greater than this enjoyment in this material world. So more or less all these different teachings, they are actually focusing on that kind of audience who just want to enjoy in this material world. And later also Bible was changed due to so many reasons. It went through so many changes. One Roman king, he actually said, why give them many lifetimes, just give them one lifetime, otherwise they will not agree. So they took out reincarnation from Bible. So many things happen. Bible, like, even they're not fully aware that when exactly Christ appeared. They just chose a random date that Christ appeared on this date. So they have their they have their problems. But overall, the message which is given in Bible, in Quran, in Bhagavad Gita, the message is exactly same. All of them define God the same way. They don't have a different definition of God. Everybody says God is all powerful. Everybody says God controls nature. Everybody says God is the savior. Everybody says that we have to go to the kingdom of God. Nobody changes that message. No one says that don't go to the kingdom of God. No one says God is not all powerful. No one says those things. They all say the same thing. They say God is all powerful. God is the controller. God is omniscient. He is omnipotent. He is omnipresent. They say everything. Everybody says the same thing. He is the controller of the nature. And the purpose of human life is to go back to the kingdom of God. Everybody says the same thing. Nobody says anything different. So, in basic definition, everybody has to deal with the same person. They cannot find a different definition for God because God is God. right? So that's how it is. That's what Prabhupada said. That he said that if you want to be a Christian, you be true Christian. Prabhupada repeatedly said this point, that if you want to be true Christian, if you want to be Christian, be true Christian. Love God. That's what Christianity says. Why are you killing the animals? Repeatedly he was asking that why are you, if Krishna said, Jesus said, thou shalt not kill. He did not say, thou shalt not kill the human being. He said, thou shalt not kill. Means thou shalt not kill it applies to everybody. Why are you killing the animals? Repeatedly he was asking this question. Why you are not accepting the animals as part of creation of God? Prabhupada was quoting from Bhagavad Gita, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Suni Chaiva Sopake Pandita Samadarshinaha. That a person who is a learned person, he sees the spirit soul in every body. Why are you not doing that? Why are you saying that we can kill animals? Animals don't have soul. Why are you saying that? So that was his point. With the modern Christians, that was his point. Otherwise, he accepted all the scriptures.
So Prabhu, at the end of quick question, at the end of Dwapar Yuga,
Yeah.
some 5,000 years before,
Yeah.
Krishna appeared in Vrindavana.
Yeah.
And we also heard of various expansions of Sankarsana and Balarama.
Correct. Yeah.
So just to dispel the doubts of everyone, many people have got the doubt that, but Bhagavatam says Krishna stu Bhagavan Swayam.
Yeah.
So can we throw some light on that? He is the original Krishna and no expansion. He is a Swayam. Krishna stu Bhagavan Swayam.
Yeah. So Bhagavatam itself is the evidence that it says Krishna stu Bhagavan Swayam. Because in that shloka is positioned by explaining the different incarnations. And in those incarnations, Krishna is also listed. Like initially, this whole set of incarnations are listed. About 21 incarnations are listed. And then it is said that these incarnations are not the only incarnations. Avatarahi asankeya hare sattvanite dvijaha, it says. That actually you cannot count the number of incarnations. Avatarahi asankeya. The innumerable number of incarnations are there, and all of them are coming from pure goodness. Hare sattvanite dvijaha. O Brahmanas, you please understand, all these incarnations are coming from pure goodness. And they are simply coming to assist the establishment of dharma. So only a sample list has been given. There's 21 plus incarnations, only a sample list has been given. But then it comes to the next shloka, which is Ete Chamsa Kala Pumsaha. There is Pumsa, there is one person, Pumsa, there is one person, and all these incarnations are either expansions or expansions of that person. Ete Cha Amsaha Kala. Either it is Amsha or Kala. Amsa means expansion, Kala means expansion of expansion. Either they are primary expansions or secondary expansions or tertiary expansions of that person, Pumsaha. Who is that person? Krishna's tu. He is that person. But Krishna is that person. That tu word, it's actually confirmatory word. It differentiates Krishna from others. In this room, there are many millionaires, but Prabhu is a billionaire. So when you say in this room there are many millionaires, that means everybody is a millionaire in this room. Then you say, but Prabhu is a billionaire. That means amongst the millionaires he is different. He actually is a billionaire. So the word tu differentiates the position of Krishna. Krishna's tu, Bhagavan Swayam. So therefore Jiva Goswami says that is the Prabhasha Sutra of Bhagavatam, and all other sutra, all other statements in the entire scriptures, they all should be seen through that one statement. So that's why he wrote he actually wrote 6 sandarbhas. The Shat Sandarbha, Jiva Goswami wrote. And in the Shat Sandarbhas, he actually systematically he analyzed the science of evidence. The Shat Sandarbhas are simply systematic analysis of the science of evidence. So it starts from Tattva Sandarbha and it ends in Preeti Sandarbha. So in Tattva Sandarbha, he actually is analyzing the system of evidence. And then he establishes that Bhagavatam provides the supreme evidence. And then he establishes, by analyzing Bhagavatam, that Krishna is the supreme person. And that he does in Krishna Sandarbha. And then, after establishing Krishna as the supreme person, then he analyzes how to deal with Krishna, and then he establishes Bhakti is the topmost way of dealing with Krishna, that is Bhakti Sandarbha. And within the realm of Bhakti, developing love of Godhead is the highest exposition of Bhakti, that is Preeti Sandarbha. So simply it is analysis of evidence. So that particular verse, Ete Chamsa Kalapam Saha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, just to establish that Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So Jiva Goswami wrote the entire treatise of Shat Sandarbhas. And there he actually very systematically analyzes all the evidence to prove that that word tu is actually differentiating Krishna from others.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So we'll stop here. I think we ran too much extra time. I was told to stop at 6:15. We are 6:40. Okay, we'll stop here. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I'll just take 2-3 minutes more. We are talking so much about service. So we have wonderful opportunity to render some service to Mayapur Dham. We are making a very nice hospital for serving all the devotees of Mayapur Dham, and also all the visiting devotees, the ISKCON leaders and everybody. So we're actually doing this hospital, and I have come here to Canada to get some support for this hospital. We have some options where you could pledge some donation for the hospital. You don't have to give money today. You can just make a pledge. I have some pledge forms. You can come to me. I can give you the pledge forms. You can make a pledge of whatever you can donate, and then you can take almost 1 year to donate to fulfill that pledge. It's not big amounts. The maximum amount we are asking for you is about $2,400, and you can, from there, you can donate whatever you can donate. It's not like you have to donate only $2,400. Whatever you want to donate, you can donate, and you can donate at your convenience. The donations will be collected by the Toronto ISKCON Temple. So you will also have the opportunity to get a tax receipt in Canada. You can use it for your tax rebate or whatever it is. So there's some opportunity here to serve Mayapur Dham, to serve the devotees of Mayapur Dham. I'm there at the backside. Please feel free to come to me. Please feel free to take the pledge forms and give whatever you can give. You don't have to give money now. You have to just sign a form. And if you sign a form and if you make a pledge today, then I have some very nice gifts which I brought from Mayapur. I can give you those gifts. I have Gantimala, which I brought from all the way from Mayapur. We dipped it in Ganges, and then we kept it under Nrsimhadev's lotus feet, and then we did Archana. Very special Gantimalas I have. I also have Nrsimha Pavitras, which is offered to Nrsimhadev and given to me. I have Nrsimha Pavitra, I have Gantimala. These transcendental gifts, I can give it back to you. If you make a commitment, if you sign a form, you get a gift. So you start with a gift. Even before you give $1, just by signature, you can get a gift from me. Okay? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much for your very patient listening. Thank you very much for all the wonderful questions. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak for such a long time. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.